Rangers 0, West Ham United 0. We've made the long journey up here to Ibrox. Historic stadium, great surroundings. Charlie, unfortunately, as far as the spectacle was concerned, that wasn't so great itself.
Might be the worst game of football I've ever watched live, but fun nonetheless. Fun day nonetheless.
So, obviously, the team was announced, and it was a pretty strong squad, you got to say. I mean, it was Mads Hermansen in goal. The back four was Walker-Peters, Mavropanos, Kilman, and who was our left back?
Skulls,
of course. So this is what happens when you get old. You walk into a room and you wonder why you've got there. Skulls was left back. We had 𝐏𝐫𝐬 Madrid. We had James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse, the last couple of games, he's been operating as effectively a left midfielder, which is quite weird. We've obviously had Kante, we've had Bowen, Pablo, and 𝐷𝐸𝐻𝐾𝐫𝐬. That was the starting 11. What were your thoughts when you saw that lineup?
It's about as close to the starting lineup as we got these days at the moment, until we get some new transfers. As strong as it gets, but it's just not very strong, is it? It's just unbalanced, weak, and I think there's a lot to be said about it's only pre-season, but still, I think there needs a lot of work done to this squad before it's actually capable of competing, even in the Championship.
How concerned are you that we're now 2 weeks away from the Portsmouth game?
Less than.
Well, yeah, less than that now. And here we are, we've still yet to make a signing. Yes, okay, other than Somerville and Fernandez at this moment in time, a lot of the rest of the squad, we've managed to retain the likes of Bowen, the likes of Mavropanos and Castellanos, have all committed their future, or at least for this season anyway, to the calls. But what are you thinking as far as sort of like the lack of signings, more to the point? Because I think what's fairly apparent from what we've witnessed, which I think, if we're being polite about it, was a bit of a dog with fleas. And I think it was glaringly obvious we're missing craft, we're missing pace. The pace was just like so glaringly obvious that we're missing this.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, it's damning the fact that you send a load of kids on and we look 10 times better. I mean, that's not saying a lot compared to given the fact that we didn't look very good in the first half. But yeah, I don't think this formation helps us. I don't think Bowen out at right mid helps us particularly. James Ward-Prowse at left mid. I think it's just a bit of it all looks a bit messy. It all feels a bit weak, and it feels like we're at the start of pre-season, not sort of a week and a half, 10 days away from the start of our season, where we should be the attacking team going on the front foot. I don't think we've got that in us at the moment.
No, I mean, Pablo, I don't want to dig the guy out, but I'm looking at him
trying to get me started, didn't you?
Well, look, you will touch on this, I'm quite sure. Pablo he's a hard worker. Okay, I will get the disclaimer out. He's a hard worker, but in terms of the quality that you need to exhibit as a professional striker, I'm sorry, I just don't see that he's even close to being a £20 million player.
No, I don't get it. I don't care how much we paid for him. I watched him for half a season, more than half a season now. I still don't think I've seen him at his target. Obviously, no goals. It's playing centre forward when we've got someone who can finish in Tatty on the pitch. I don't see the need for him. I'd much rather see it two up front with Tatty and Bowen up front. At least that'll get Bowen a bit further forward. But yeah, in terms of Pablo, don't want to go in on him, but I just don't get it. The sooner he isn't in our starting 11, the better, to be honest.
Positionally, what are the priorities for you in this transfer window? Where are the positions on the park that you think this is where we need to do some surgery?
I think we need those key positions that we needed all summer. Obviously, we've not brought anyone in. We need the striker, we need the centre mid, we need wingers. But I think a lot of it, for me, the concerns come back to the formation. I don't think this formation suits the players we've got. No. I don't think it gets a lot out of that squad. I think we've got sort of Ward-Prowse playing this weird left midfield role. Bowen barely getting anywhere near the goal. And when we're going to be in competitive games, he's going to be doing what he did last season again, playing right back for effectively half the game. I've got to be in my bonnet about this 4-4-2 or whatever it's called. People are calling it. I don't think it works, and hopefully I'm proven wrong in the season. Just with a road sweep going past.
That's the joys of doing sort of like these outside broadcasts, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm concerned, and there'll be a lot of it's only pre-season, and it is only pre-season. Hopefully a lot of change by the time we get to Portsmouth and then get to Burnley, but to me we look a long way off and ready for the league.
Obviously there was some changes that took place. They were quite late, a lot later than I thought they would come, probably a lot later than they were justified to be, given what we was being served up on the pitch, in fairness. Was there anybody that stood out, sort of like any of the kids that came on, the likes of Potts, the likes of 𝐵𝐵𝐸, Lewis Orford, 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐿, all came on? 𝐵𝐵𝐸𝐿 played at
right wing back or
wing back, right full back. It was a bit of a weird one. Was there anyone that stood out for you?
I think Potts is clearing away out of that group, the one that looks most ready for this level league season. I think obviously he's had a season in the Championship, so you'd expect him to be up to that standard. I think the fact that they can't, the closer we get to the season, the less sort of game time these kids are getting. I think 99% of them are going to just be bombed back into 2021s once we get to the first game of the season. I don't expect to see much of any of them this season, maybe apart from Potts. I don't think we'll see 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐿. I don't think we'll see 𝐵𝐵𝐸. I think we'll probably go out on loan or maybe even leave permanently. Orford looks all right. Didn't really, came on pretty late, didn't he? So I don't think we're going to see any of them this season, aside from Potts. 𝐶𝐈𝐬𝐿, I'm not convinced. I'm coming across very negative here, but I'm not convinced 𝐶𝐈𝐬𝐿 is up to the level either, if I'm totally honest. So, yeah, I don't think we'll see many of them. I think 𝐵𝐵𝐸𝐿 will go out on loan. Who else came on? I think goes out on loan. 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐿, probably the same. I think the only one that may feature is probably La Madrid. He's probably been our best player all pre-season, but then again, I'm still not convinced of what his best position is, whether it's centre defensive mid or that's what he seems to be playing at the moment, but I think he's a winger. Don't know, it seems to be coming across very negative, but yeah, concerning more than positive. Looking forward to that Burnley game starting the season. Portsmouth before that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just going to say, as I found it a very, very difficult watch. I would have absolutely taken, and then I'll be clear on this, I would have absolutely taken a draw before this game, because I recognise that Rangers were going to present a stern test. They're a lot further ahead in their preparation. Their season starts next week, 5 days' time, I think it is. Their season starts. So they're ahead in terms of their preparation in theory. They're playing in front of their home fans. And I will say this, they've got like a singing section behind the goal in the Copland stand, I think it is. And they didn't stop, and they generated quite a good atmosphere. But I think they stopped once during the game, and that was for one of them to get wheeled out in a wheelchair. Yeah. I think there was a medical incident in there, so they all stopped. And then as soon as he went off in his wheelchair, they started again. So no, fair play. It was they was obviously out for it today. Yeah, but in terms of the match itself, as I say, it was just very, very disappointing. I didn't really see that we had. I would be concerned if that is the starting 11, the starting formation, and the way we're going to play. If that, I'm going to move the Portsmouth game to one side. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to progress in the League Cup, but for me, this season is all about promotion by hook or by crook. And going into that game away against Burnley, another team that's been relegated from the Prem to the Championship, I would be very concerned if that is the starting lineup, the formation, and the way we approach it. Now, okay, maybe that last one isn't ultimately going to be, because it's a pre-season friendly versus a Championship opener. So I get that maybe in terms of the way they'd approach it, it would be slightly different. But in terms of the personnel, in terms of the shape, if that's the way we're going to approach it, I'm really concerned. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a lot different, is it? You're going to have Manson in goal. You're going to have 𝐷𝐿𝐴 right back. You're going to have 𝐾𝐫𝐬 and Mavropanos. You're going to have 𝐶𝐈𝐬𝐿. You're probably going to have 𝐺𝐸, so that might be one change. The midfield's a bit of a mess at the moment. You'd probably imagine it's going to be what to start. Kante, Potts, James Ward-Prowse, given the options. Not sure, that could be a bit different. Bowen will be out on the right. Gone back to the 5 in the middle there, but Tati and Pablo are going to be up top. It's going to be, and I think that's where the concern's coming from. That is pretty much our first team going into the Burnley game, unless sort of a significant number of signings are made between now and then. Maybe they will be. I'm not convinced. How much of a damning indictment do you think it is that on the left of midfield, our current choices appear to be James Ward-Prowse and Maxwell Cornet? God, I forgot about him. Yeah, well, he ended the game nice in his nice traditional way, didn't he? By being offside. Nostalgic of being reminded of what he's like with offsides. But yeah, I mean, we've gone from Somerville out there, and albeit he had 6 or 7 good games for us,
still a hell of a lot better option than the other two at the moment. So yeah, that's probably the position. Maybe I don't know, striker, centre back, left mid, left wing, whatever we're playing. I think they're all quite just as important as each other, really. But even if someone's brought in this week, are they really going to start the first game of the season? I'm not convinced they will. So I think we're going to see what we're seeing now against Burnley.
Any other points you want to cover off, Charlie, before we knock it on the head?
No, I don't think so. I'm just being miserable, and I've quite enjoyed the weekend away in Glasgow, but
the thing is, though,
was dreadful.
The thing is, though, Charlie, is that I like to think that you're a little bit glass half empty.
Yeah.
I'm usually a little bit glass half full.
My glass has got a hole in it.
But I'm finding it very difficult to find a glass, quite frankly. As far as that performance is concerned, I'm like, someone's dropped my glass and it's smashed into a million pieces on the floor. That was awful.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we're supposed to be going into this championship season, and we should be the attacking team on the front foot near enough every game. All right, we might have a match against Wolves, Burnley, maybe a couple of others like Borough, but we're going to have to be the attacking team. I just don't see that we've got that in us. I just really don't. It's not a fantastic Rangers team. We had a lot of the ball, did nothing with it. I just don't see a way where we go from what we've seen. And even Stevenage, we obviously scored 5 goals at Stevenage, but a lot of that was after a lot of changes were made. Yeah, I don't know where that attacking emphasis is coming from when we're going to have to be the team on the front foot. But maybe we'll look back at this in a month and we're top of the league with 30 goals scored and we're all happy as Larry. But yeah, I wouldn't put my house on it, that's for sure.
No, I think if anyone, I doubt this is going to happen, mind, but if anyone from the club happens to stumble across this bit of content, 𝐂𝐸𝐬𝐿, Nuno, Daniel 𝐸𝐻𝐾, Karim Varane, I don't know if you're watching this, but you need to get a move on. Last season, we took quite a bit of time to get our business done, and we got relegated last season. Now, I don't expect that we're going to get relegated to League One, but it's going to put us, well, exactly that. But it puts us behind the curve, and we should have had a couple of signings in before now, but we are where we are. We're not where we want to be, but this needs to be put right. That performance there is really concerning in terms of we're lacking pace, we're lacking creativity. The shape of the formation, is it 4-4-2? Is it 4-4-1-1? Is it 4-3-3? Sure. What is it? What are we? I look at this team and the shape and the personnel and just their characteristics, and it's like really a concern. We need to come out of the traps pretty quick this season. That team, I don't believe, has that capability of doing that against Burnley. I just don't.
No, I think Welling are after a striker. See if Pablo can go and help them, although they might turn him down, to be honest. Yeah. They want someone who can hit the back of the net.
Well, I'm not too sure he could hit a cow's arse with a banjo, but we'll leave that there. Charlie, appreciate your time. I'll see you again soon. And that is the review of the Rangers game. 0-0 draw. I would have taken a draw before the game, but the performance is quite concerning. So anyway, guys, if you are new around here, do make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the stream, give us a hype if you've got one available. So share this on your social media platforms, all of that good stuff, and get your comments in the section below. How concerned are you about that performance that has just unfolded at Ibrox Stadium? 0-0 draw, you'd take that, but again, the performance is the concern, so we need to get a wiggle on. But anyway, if you're new around here, like I say, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again soon. Come on, you irons.